economics. We are in chapter 5 and we are talking about the measures of central tendency. Right, children? Measures of central tendency. So what is this? This is a numerical method of explaining the data that you have collected. So far we have discussed chapters about the introduction, collection and organization of data. Okay, collection of data and organization of data. Then in the previous chapter, that is chapter number 4, we have spoken about the presentation of data. Right, children? What is that? The presentation of data. Now how we are going to present the geometric diagram, arithmetic line graph and all those things. And I said that given you a worksheet full of problems that you need to represent it through the graphs and geometric diagram. Right, children? So we are talking about the measures of central tendency, where we are discussing at present about three important measures of arithmetic central tendency. They are the median, arithmetic mean, median and mode. What are the three, children? Arithmetic mean, median, mode. Those are the three different measures of central tendency. Other than that, we actually have weighted arithmetic mean and harmonic mean, but we are not talking about that much right now. We are deeply into arithmetic mean, median, mode. Right, children? So what actually are the measures of central tendency? So the measures of central tendency are what? That's the arithmetic mean marked as x bar, right? Then we have median and then we have mode. Right, children? And when we spoke about arithmetic mean, when we had two different things for grouped data and ungrouped data. What are they? We had grouped data and ungrouped data. Ungrouped data means without frequencies. Okay, the direct data. So you had three methods there to discuss the arithmetic mean, like the direct method, assumed mean method and the step deviation method. Do you remember? What were the formulas that we dealt here? We had sigma x by n to find it. Then we had a plus sigma b by n. Then we had a plus sigma b dash by n into c. Those were the three different formulas that we use to find arithmetic mean for ungrouped data. Right, children? So we had the direct method, the assumed mean method and the step deviation method. Similarly, grouped data also have these three methods: the direct method, the step deviation method and the assumed mean method. There was a change in the group method. What was that? Instead of taking the x values, we always multiplied it with the frequency. With the d or the d dash, everywhere what was multiplied, you always had the f value with it. Right, children? One difference that we had between this discrete series and continuous series was, in discrete series we took the values of x for assumed mean method. But when we use the continuous series, we had to find another value called m. Because continuous series, you have class limits. Right, upper class limits, lower class limits. In that case, you needed to have one particular value called as m. Okay, so how did you go with this m? By adding upper class limit with lower class limit and dividing it by 2, you got what? You got the mid value. Right, with that we had the formula and it was similar to this. We had sigma f x. Okay, in some case we had m only for continuous series. And then we had divided by sigma f. Then it was all same. A plus sigma fb by sigma f continuous. So for discrete series, it was very simple where we just had to go with n plus 2 by 1 item was given to be the median. Okay, so 11 or there are 11 items where there means 11 plus 1 12 divided by 2 was 6. So sixth item was considered to be the median. But here in continuous series we had frequencies, we had upper class limits, we had lower class limits. So what did we do first? We took n by 2 value and that was considered to be the median class. You remember we had a circle, we selected that particular class as a median class and then we had a formula to find the median actually. So that was L plus n by 2 minus CF divided by F into H. So what was this L, children? The lower class limit of the median class plus n by 2 is what we have already found out minus the cumulative frequency of the previous class, the median frequency of the median class into the difference between the class limits of the median class. This is how we found the median for continuous series. Now what are we going to do? We are going to discuss about mode. The third thing, that is the mode. What are we going to do with mode? It is the most typical value of a series or the value around which many things are there. Okay, the concentration of items are mode. So what actually is mode? It is a typical value. Okay, it has maximum contribution of items. So this is derived from a French word, okay, which means la mode, especially about fashion trends when you talk about these things. So when you want to know which product is liked by many people, for example, you have a chocolate company, you have the same chocolate bar for 5 rupees, for 10 rupees, for 20 rupees, for 30 rupees, for 100, same chocolate of different sizes on different prices. So when the chocolate company wants to know which priced chocolate bar is sold the large, how do you find it? Through this mode. That is how we find the mode. So even in garment factory, there are different sizes of every ready-made clothes, right? When you go to buy a jean or when you want to buy a shirt, a ready-made thing, you have a size there. You just mention your size and you get it. Right? So you need to know, the company has to know which size is what more. Right? So that production will be increased. Instead of having, for example, you have a product where L, XL, double XL and triple XL are there, means they will find whatever product it is, they will find which size is sold the most, which size is demanded the most. That size will be produced more. It's not like, okay, here we make 50, here we make 50, here we make 50, here we make 50. And they find it, XL is double XL is asked for 100 units. Here it is asked also for 75 units. Here it is asked only for 25 units and here nobody is asking for triple XL. So what can the garment factory do then? They can stop producing triple XL, right? Or they can have a minimum stock value because they don't want to have a lot of goods in their product inventory. They don't want to have inventory or stocks. It's waste of cost. Then they can limit the production of this L size. Okay, they can bring it down. Plus 5 units they can produce. Then XL, they can increase the production because it's demanded more. And double XL, they can concentrate more because it is even demanded really high. Okay, so what is it, children? Mode tells you the most frequently used observation. Okay, the most frequently observed data is denoted by mode and it is denoted by MO. Talking about this, arithmetic mean is also mentioned as ME. Okay, median is marked as MI, mode is marked as MO. Right, children? So this is all about it. And what is the formula that we are going to concentration of something. So for example, when you are talking about mass, okay, when you are talking about mass of something, this is an example column you will put as. So when you are going to talk about mass, one has got 20, another got 25, another got 20, 25, 30. So what do you do? For median you put it into ascending order. Similarly, here even you can have it in ascending order, and then you can find how many times the frequency of the observation can be found. Okay, how many times it has appeared in the set of observations? It has appeared thrice. This has appeared twice. This has appeared only once. So what is the model here? Which is the most observed thing? 20. So what is the mode here? 3 or 20? 20. You have to take the value of the observation. So which is the mode here, children? The mode is 20. This happens when you have ungrouped data. Say for grouped data, how does it work? Okay, how does it work for grouped data is what we are going to discuss now, right children? Talking about grouped data, that is when frequency is already given, how are we going to find it? Is what we are going to discuss right now. So here we have an example where we have the variables and we have the frequency. So what are the variables? We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Alright, so 10 has appeared twice, 8 times, 10 times, and then 20, 10, and 5. So it is easy for you to find now, because where is the frequency concentrated more? Where is it occurred a lot of time? Which frequency is high? 20 is high. So which is the mode here? Your mode is 30 because it has the highest frequency. So that is very easy to find in what? It is easy to find in this particular way. Okay, in a discrete series it is easy to find, and the data is unimodal, that is it is unique. Unlike mode is not necessarily unique, that is not, see we have got 20 here, one more value is 20 means how would you find the mode? Median with two values you take divide by 2, but is it possible here? When you have an example, like another example is given where two data are coming in the same way. Okay, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4. Now if you see, 3 is also 2, 4 is also twice, 5 is also twice. Do you have a mode here? No, you don't have. Okay, because it has many things to go with, many things. So you don't have a right mode here. You call it, when you want one mode is there, it's unimodal. When you have two modes, bimodal. When you have more than two modes, it's called multi-modal. Right. That is for discrete series. Very easy. Wherever the frequency is more, you calculate that particular frequency is variable. Okay. Should not take the frequency, children. That frequency is variable. Is considered to be its what? Its mode. What are we going to do now? We are going to discuss the continuous series. For continuous series, how do you calculate? So you have discrete here and you have continuous here. Okay? Discrete, how do you find? The variable with highest frequency is what? Is the mode. But here, how are you going to find? First, you need to find the model class. How do you find the model class? D1 by D1 plus D2 into H. Now you will choose the class limit, okay, where the highest frequency is there, okay. Model class is the class with the highest frequency. Now after circling that, you can find the lower class limit. What is D1 and D2? D1 is the difference between that particular cumulative frequency, alright, sorry, difference between the frequency of the model class from the preceding one, and D2 is the difference between the frequency of model class and the succeeding class. Now when we work on problems, you will get to know it easily. For example, you have first class limit, second class limit, third class limit, okay, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, like that you have. Right children? So here you have x, okay, let's give values so it will be easy, 2, 4, 6, 8. Which has the highest frequency? 8 has the highest frequency. So that you choose as what children? Your model class. Now what you have to find? You know the lower class limit, that is 20. What do you want to know? You need to know the D1, that is 8 minus 4 is your D1 by 8 minus 4 is 4 plus 8 minus 6 you have to take, that is 2 into H. What is your H? The difference between these classes, 10 is your H. That's it. Alright, and we are not going to talk about the signs. Here 8 minus 4, then 8 minus 6. We are not going to talk about the signs, plus sign, minus sign we are not going to talk about. We are just going to take the numerical values and we are going to find the mode. Okay, we are going to find a model class first. After finding the model class, we are going to continue to discuss the next step. Okay, that is what? Finding the mode. Clear children? What are we going to do now? We are going to continue with finding the mode. Clear? So let's use the example problem and then we have another problem to work out of all three. We are going to calculate the arithmetic mean, the median, the mode, and we are going to compare each with the other things. First, we are going to calculate the mode and then we are going to have an example where we are going to have a comparison of all three. Okay? What are we going to do now? Calculation of mode. Calculation of mode. We know the formula. So first we need to find the right values. We need the frequency. Okay, that's what we are going to find out. What is given here? Calculate the value of model worker family's monthly income from the following data. They have given you cumulative frequency. Now it's your turn to find the frequency. Usually they'll give us frequency. We'll find the cumulative frequency, right? Children, we just keep on adding. Here they have given us cumulative frequency and you are going to find the frequency. Very simple. Instead of adding, you are going to subtract. Okay? So we are going to have an income group. If you see, the least value given here in the example is less than 15. Okay? And if you see, everything adds up by 5. So we are going to have the last class as 5. Okay? We are going to minus it. And since it is in the descending order less than okay, we are also going to have it in the negative manner. That is, we are going to have it in the descending order. First, we are going to find the classes. Or we can do it problem. So this is going to be your x. You don't need your m there. So you have your x, you have your f. Already I have given your cumulative frequency. Now you are going to have what? Your frequency for each class is what we are going to find now. So now the last value given is less than 15. So the class that we are going to have is 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35. Then what value they are given? Less than 50. 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 45 to 50. Okay? What is the value given there for you? Less than 50 value? 97. What is the value, children? 97. You are going to have your cumulative frequencies now. Less than 50 is 97. Next you have less than 45, 95. Less than 40, 90. Less than 35 is what? 80. Less than 30, 60. Less than 25, 30. Less than 20, 12. Less than 15, 4. What are we going to do just now? We're just going to deduct from the reverse order. See, in your book they have given it in descending order. Okay, that easily you can understand. I want you to learn both the methods, descending order as well as if you want to put it in the ascending order. Your answers are not going to change. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Your answers are not going to change. It should be in an order. That's it. Either ascending or descending. Since they have given it in less than values, they have put it in the descending order. But I'm trying to put you in ascending order so that you can easily see the book, understand the descending order, understand the ascending order now. Now we are going to do reverse multiplication. What are we going to do, children? We are going to have a reverse multiplication. So the cumulative frequency of entire value is 97. This is the last value, so this is down. 97 minus 95. Okay? So 45 to 50 range is 2. 95 minus 2. Sorry. 97 minus 5, 2. 95 minus 90, 5. Right? 90 minus 80, 10. 80 minus 60, 20. 60 minus 30, 30. 30 minus 12, 18. 18 minus, 30 minus 12, 18. 12 minus 4, 8. This value comes direct. The last value comes directly. So if you have put in this order or when you come in the reverse order, the values are same. They have given it as 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 80, 84. I have just gone in this order. However, you put the answers match the same. Do you understand how it came, children? So less than 50 is 97. Less than 45 is 95. So when you deduct it, you get the class frequency of 45 to 50. Less than 50 என்ன கொடுத்திருக்காங்க 97 members less than 50 சொல்லிருக்காங்க. அப்ப less than 45 எவ்வளவு 95. So that means 45 to 50 குள்ள எவ்வளவு பேர் இருப்பாங்க? You just have to deduct it. 97 minus 5 92. 95 minus 90 10. Okay? If at all you are going to get confused after making this column, okay, you can just remove it or you can just hide it. Okay, you can just hide it or you can even put the cumulative frequency the other side. I am just erasing for your understanding. Now you need to find the model class first, right children? What you have to find? You need to find the model class. Model class means whichever has the highest frequency. Which has the highest frequency here? The class with the frequency of 30. And which class is that, children? Now you need to match it straight and see to which class it's related to. 18. What is that, children? Frequency of the model class minus frequency of the preceding class, that is 12. D2 30 minus 20. Okay? Frequency of the model class minus frequency of the succeeding class, next class. 30 minus 20 is equal to 10. What is your H, children? What is the difference between both 25 to 30? 5. Right? So your H is 5. When you substitute it, you get 25 plus, what's the value of D1? 12 divided by 12 plus 10 into 5 is equal to 25 plus 12 divided by 22 into 5. When you do the math using a calculator, you will get a value of 27.273. That's your mode. Okay? So the modern worker family income is rupees 27.23. That is, they have given in thousands. The question is in thousands, so your answer would be what? Rupees 27,273. So it will be in rupees. That's your model classes monthly income. Right, children? So what do you have to do? First, you need to find the model class. How? In case if they have given cumulative frequencies, you calculate the frequency and then you are going to find what? You are going to find the class that has the highest frequency. That should be marked as model class. And then with the help of your formula, you find the lower class limit, you find the D1, you find the D2, then you need to find your H. So this minus is your D1, this minus is your D2. That is model classes frequency minus preceding value D1, model classes frequency minus succeeding classes D2. H is the difference. When you substitute the value into the math, you get your model clauses, whatever value they are asking. It may be family income, it can be mod mark, it can be anything. Right, children? So, the next topic is the relative position of arithmetic mean, median and mode. So, what is said actually, that is arithmetic mean, median, mode, if you discuss, they have a thing like the median always stays in between. Okay? What do they say? The median always stays in between, and one side will be mean and one side will be mode. Whatever it is, median stays in a central position. That is, it can be median lesser than, mean lesser than median lesser than mode, or median greater than mean greater than median greater than mode. Two things are applicable. So what are we going to do? I have a problem here. It's not from your book exercise. It's another problem that I found. Okay. So we are going to work it out, and we are going to just find the thing. So what are the relationships we have, children? We have either median is lesser than mean, lesser than median, lesser than mode, or mean greater than median, greater than mode. Okay? We are just going to see a problem which is going to get applicable is what we are going to find. First we are going to find our arithmetic mean, then we are going to find our median, then we are going to find the mode for the same problem. Okay? With that, this chapter gets over, and I want you to do the problems. Right, children? And mode is generally used for qualitative data, not for quantitative. Mode is generally used for qualitative data, about the quality. Talks about what? The quality. And arithmetic mean is the most commonly used measure of central tendency. Right, children? What is it? It is the most commonly used used measure of central tendency. Right. Proceeding. What is the example that I have here? I want you to copy the question as well as the answer. Okay. Here, the runs scored by a person in his career. Okay, in his cricket career has been given. Okay. You just go ahead and find that. We have runs and how many ever times he has scored it. Okay, so we have 5 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, and we actually will put it 15 to 25, 25, 35, 35 to 45, and finally 45 to 55. Copy the problem, children. Copy the problem. Okay, so the runs scored by a person in his career. We are going to find the average runs he has scored, median, and most of the times whatever runs he has scored is what we are going to find now. And how many times he has scored between 5 to 15? 10 times he has scored, 12 times here, 17 times, 19 times, 22 times. This is your problem. Now we are going to solve it. We are going to find all three: arithmetic mean, median, mode. Okay, so this is a continuous series. We'll use the direct method. Okay, because all three methods are going to be the same. But since it's a value that you can calculate, what shall we? Shall we go for direct method? We'll do step deviation method for you. Okay. You can do assumed mean method, or you can calculate with the help of direct method. Everything is going to give you the same answer. But I will do the most difficult method, which has a lot of steps. The arithmetic mean, and we are going to find it through the step deviation method. So first, what you have to prepare, children? You need to have your table, because you need your mid values and all, right? So you have your X, you have your F, you have your M. Isn't it, children? You have your N. First you need to find these three. 5 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55. Right? And what are the values we have? 10, 12, 17, 19, 22. What are you going to find? Your mid value. 5 to 15, what would be your mid value here, children? 5 plus 15, 20. 20 divided by 2. 10. Easy. 15 plus 25, 40. 40 divided by 2. 20. Then 30. 40. Right? You just add the upper class limit and lower class limit divided by 2. You get your mid value. Now what you have to do? Next step. Which formula is for step deviation, children? Let's take the formula first. A plus sigma FD dash by sigma F into C. We need sigma F, we need sigma FD dash, and we need an assumed mean. Where do you take that mean from? You take it from here. From M you take the value. So first you need to find the D value. Isn't it? What do you have to find, children? You need to find the D value. So D is equal to X minus A. Then what is D dash? D by C is your, these are the values that we are going to find, children. So X minus A. So we will take the center value 30. You can take any value. The answer is going to be the same. So 10 minus 30 minus 20. 20 minus 30 minus 10. 0. divided by c means 10. So minus 20 by 10, minus 2, minus 10 by 10, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Again the value is 0. Now what you have to do? F into d dash. What are you doing, children? F into d dash. 10 into minus 2, minus 20, 12 into minus 1, minus 12, 17 into 0, 0, 19 into 1, 19, 22 into 2, 44. Now what you have to find? You have to find your sigma FD dash. Right? And also you have to find your sigma F. Isn't it, children? You have to find the total of this. So 22, 29, 39, 39 plus 9, 48, 58, 58 plus 22, you get a value of 80 totally. So here you have to have this separately. Right, plus values when you add 44 plus 19 gives you 63. Then minus of what? 63 minus 32 gives you a value of 31. Right. So what is your sigma FD dash, children? It is 31. You got your answer now? What are we going to do next? You have got all the values. You are going to find the answer of this now. How are we going to find it? Substitute it. What is your assumed value? 30. 30 plus what is your sigma FD dash? 31. Right? What is your sigma F? 18. Into C is 10. So 30 plus when you do a math, okay, when you do your calculation, you will get a value of 3.875. So the arithmetic mean, okay, first you have found your arithmetic mean, which is 33.875. We are going to find which condition is going to apply for this particular problem. So what did we do? We did the arithmetic mean method. To what method, children? We did the step deviation method. If you take the direct method, you will get the same answer. Okay? What is that? Sigma fx by f, right? You need to just multiply these two, sigma fm here, sigma fm by f. If you just multiply this and divide it by 80, you will get a value. That will also be the same. If you take assumed mean method also, it will be same. It's nothing but f into d directly. Right, children? F into d directly, you will get a value. That will also be the same in all three methods. What are we going to do next? We are going to calculate a median. What are we going to do, children? Calculate a median class. So we don't want this MD and all. We just want X, F and cumulative frequency we want. So we are going to have another column. You should draw another column. You should not erase it like me. Okay? For arithmetic mean, you have a table. For median, you should have another one. Or extra column you can add if you will not get confused. So you are going to have cumulative frequency. Why do we need the cumulative frequency, children? Because we are going to find the median class by doing n by 2. What is your n? 80. Cumulative frequency is total only 80. 80 divided by 2 is equal to 40. So wherever 40 applies, then that particular class is called your median class. Isn't it? So we are going to find that. 10, 12 plus 10, 22, 17 plus 22, 39, 39 plus 19, 58, 58 plus 22. Got it? Now what value you want, children? 40. Where is it 40's value? Here. So this is your median class. Which is the median class? 35 to 45 is your median class. How do you find your median? L plus n by 2 minus CF by F into H. So what is your L here? Lower class limit 35 plus n by 2 is 40 minus cumulative frequency of the previous class 39 by frequency of this class 90 into what is your H? 10. So you get a value of 35 plus minus 1 by 19. So 10 by 19 will come 1 by 19 into 10. When you do the calculation using a computer, a calculator, I did it with the calculator's help, so you can also use it. The value that you will get is 35.53. Okay? So what is your median value, children? 35.53. So your median is 35.53. What is this? This is your mean. This is your median. Next, what are we going to find? Mode. How do we do that? Just now we discussed. We are going to find the model class. With the help of the model class, we are going to find the next. So where is the model class? Here we just need the frequency. We don't need your cumulative frequency. So we are going to just find the model class wherever the concentration is more. Is your model class. So what are the values? Right? So where is the frequency mode, children? 22? Fine. So applying it in the formula. What is your mode's formula? L plus T1 by D1 plus D2 into H. You know your lower class limits. 45 plus what is your D1? 22 minus 19 is 3 by 3 plus. Do you have a succeeding class? No. So 22 minus 0. Right. There is no other value. So you're just going to take this value. Okay. Into what is your H, children? We have 10. 45 plus 3 by 25 into 10. So I'm going to use a calculator to find what is the value that I am going to get. So what is my math? 3 divided by 25, okay, into 10. So I get a value of 1.2. So I get a value of 46 point. That's my mode. Now tell me, which relationship does it have? Which is the greatest here? The mode seems to be the highest. So the first relationship works out here. So that is NE is lesser than NI lesser than NO. That is mean is lesser than the median lesser than the mode. So if you see, it practically shows you that median is in the center value. Okay? It is in between the mean and mode. It always works like this. Okay? It can be less, it can be more, that's up to it. Up to the problem. But the median should always stay in the center. This is the relationship that we find. Okay? Median is always between the arithmetic mean and the mode. Okay? So like this, you can also take some example problems that I will give you in the worksheet. I want you to find all three, the mean, the median and mode. And this problem I expected to be in your classwork. Okay? I hope you have copied it. If not, replay it again. Copy the question, work it out on your own. I am perfectly okay if you are going to use the direct method or the assumed mean method for calculating the arithmetic mean. Your answer should be the same. That's all that matters. Right, children? So what is it? So it specifies the single most representative value most times occurrence. These three are what we have discussed. And arithmetic mean is the most commonly used average method. Fine. And median is a better summary for data when we have extreme items at the corners. Okay. Here we see 22, a big difference from 10 to 50. So if it is 50, if it is 100, if it is 0, then the difference is huge. Okay. Mode is generally used for the qualitative data. Right, children? So with this, the measures of central tendency chapter is over. I want you to go through all the problems, some around out of these 9 questions that are in your exercises, except first 3 remaining questions or problems, and I want you to work out all the problems in your classwork note. Make sure you have drawn the concept map or mind map or whatever topics we have discussed. I want you to work out the problems that I'm going to give you in worksheet also. If at all you have any doubts in any problem or how to sort it out, yes, of course, feel free to reach me out and get your doubts clarified at the earliest. Right, children? Thank you, and may all have a wonderful day.